growing the community of people that are thinking about the issues that we're talking about. So duplication is a serious problem, and we need to deal with that problem in our math programs around the world. This duplication problem is everywhere. People are duplicating math topics. You've learned it in JS1. You will now learn some of it in JS2. You know that some of that duplication makes some students to give up on mathematics. Some students are not interested in learning mathematics because they think it's boring. How can somebody think that mathematics is boring? I apologize. 1 second. Okay, so now I'm going to share the link with all of you. So I've shared the link. Feel free to use that link to see if it's working. Let me see. I just shared a link, but I'll give it to the guys also on the group chat. I want to address one thing that Mr. Charles mentioned, and then we'll carry on. So the idea of this stream is that some people are not comfortable using Zoom, so they can use this link that I've shared now. So please remember, our goal is 1 billion students to receive the highest quality of math education. And if we're going to get 1 billion students, we need to have as many teachers as possible. If you want to become a level 2 or level 3, feel free to reach out as well. Okay, questions, thoughts, comments, objections on the duplication problem with math education globally. While we are on, I want to mention a couple of things. We're going to continue this live stream every week. And basically, the idea, God willing, during these live streams is to be able to discuss AI, mathematics first. Before anybody uses AI, they need to understand the mathematics part of AI. If we don't have the mathematics first, it will be a problem. And so I'm just putting it in our group chat. This is the live stream too. Okay. So I put it in the group chat. So one of the things I'm willing to offer to all the tutors and parents, so parents, tutors, educators, one of the things we want to offer you is digital literacy tools and AI tools to help you better help students to learn mathematics. The time has come where everybody around the world needs to understand mathematics. They need to understand mathematics from counting to calculus. This is very critical at this point in history. Why is it important? Because if you don't understand mathematics, you will be limited in what fields you can explore in STEM. But the reason you should want to understand mathematics is not just because of the skills that you want to learn, it's also because mathematics teaches you how to think. I have one of our instructors that will be coming and sharing with our group is from India. And he says to us that if you don't know how to do mathematics without AI first, you would ruin your math career. Because AI will make you lazy. That's what he would say. And I agree with him. What he's trying to say is this. Before you use AI, make sure you understand the mathematics of AI. So one of the things I've designed, and I'll grab a copy here. Give me 1 second. Let me grab a copy. So one of the things I've designed, this is the first book we're reading in our course, Tools for Mastering Mathematics. All parents and educators can read it. It's free of charge on my website, livingsensibly.org. I put it on my own personal website, livingsensibly.org, and you can click on books and you'll see free books there. These Tools for Mastering Mathematics tells the story of all the things that we have problems with in math education, at least here in America, and how to help your children to become good in mathematics. The second part of my book, Tools for Mastering Mathematics, this part is talking about what are the skills that you need to learn and be able to reference. So, for example, does everybody know the set theory? Does everybody know classification of real numbers, properties of real numbers, properties of exponents, properties of radicals, properties of logarithms, basics of statistics and probability? In Nigeria, we called it four-figure table. This was called a four-figure table. If you remember, in Nigeria, they will give you something like a four-figure table that gives you reference for different formulas. That's what we did in part 2 of this book. We are giving all our students access to a reference. Does that make sense? They have a reference guide So we don't have to teach them how to properties of logarithms again and again and again. We give them squares and cubes. The reason why we give them squares and cubes is because we need them to know all their squares and their cubes. So if I tell you what is 6 cubed, you should know that it is 216. Why is it important to know the cubes? Because if you know the cubes, then you will be able to do work related to factoring polynomials. See, everything in mathematics is connected. That's why if somebody is struggling, they need to go back and learn the topic that they are struggling in. And then the last part of my book, Tools for Mastering Mathematics, I give you all the list of topics, all of them. These are all the topics from counting to calculus. I extracted all the topics from all the textbooks, from all the cities, from everywhere, and I put it as one list. It's just a list. But now with AI, you can just say, give me 5 examples for how to determine the slope of a graph. Enter. Do you see what I'm saying? Give me 5 examples for how to determine the slope of a graph. Enter. And it will give you the examples. AI can give examples. AI can give practice problems. AI can give different resources. And now, guess what? There is now video generation AI. So AI can even make the video explaining the concept and deliver it to you immediately. This is interesting times we're living in. So why does anybody fail mathematics? Why is anybody going to fail mathematics anymore? Because they don't care. That's one of the reasons. One of the reasons. Some of them might not care to use the tools available to them. So that's why we teach the history of mathematics. That's why we teach the applications of mathematics. We have to teach the history of mathematics and the background knowledge of mathematics. Why should somebody learn logarithms? Why should somebody learn exponents? Who came up with logarithms? It was a Scottish mathematician, John Napier. So we need to teach people how the history behind the mathematics that they're learning. Lastly, I've made these workbooks for people. This is a workbook called Statistics Workbook for Everyone. And then I made other ones, Elementary Algebra Workbook for Everyone. What do these workbooks do for people? And this is something I want to bring to Nigeria. So tutors, if you have a shop and you want to talk about how to be a distributor for counting to calculus workbooks, we should talk after, please. Because I want to help everybody in Africa learn how to take notes and how to use AI to learn a lot of mathematics. What are these workbooks? The idea of these workbooks is, remember I told you about in the different topics that people are learning, like a reference. I put it in the workbook. So basically, at the end of the workbook, they have all the properties of exponents. Okay? So they have all the properties of exponents. They have different things that they can refer back to. They have a PEMDAS or BODMAS, we call it in Nigeria. So they have all the resources at the end of the workbook for them. But inside the workbook itself, we have a textbook that we're using as a guide. You open your workbook, you open your textbook, and what you do then is you basically say, I want to learn topic 1. You now open your workbook to that topic. And you have a topic page, definition of statistic probability and key terms. You now copy the examples in your workbook from your textbook or the examples that your tutor has given you or AI. And then you use the other page to graph. After you finish this workbook, you keep it together with all the 16 workbooks in one place. What that means is if you ever need to go back, you have all your notes in one place. And you have all the references you need also at the end of the workbook. So then the workbook becomes it's like your secondary school textbooks. I have my secondary school notebooks till today for my chemistry class. So I can go back and review my chemistry notes from secondary school. This is what this is for you. So this one is on statistics. We have one for calculus. We have one for pre-algebra. The textbooks that you use, we have recommended textbooks, but it doesn't matter what textbook you use, because in the age of AI, textbooks are actually not the most important thing. The most important thing is the roadmap for learning mathematics. How can you learn the topics in order? And that's exactly what counting to calculus is. So same time next week, we'll go from about 1:30 Central Time in America or 2:30 Eastern Time. And then we will do the same thing and go till, in Nigeria, that will be 7:30 to 8:30. And then we can talk about any questions We'll do a live stream. We'll answer any questions that people have, and we'll go from there. Questions, thoughts, comments, objections. And those who are watching on YouTube, they can also give us their feedback. Any questions, thoughts, comments, objections? Well, thank you so much for spending time with me. This is going to be an exciting journey as we try to teach 1 billion students mathematics from counting to calculus. And the way we're going to do that is the first step is recognizing what are the key topics from primary 1 or first grade all the way to calculus. Can we line them up in order of difficulty without any duplication? And then can we start teaching people systematically using a mastery-based model, topics from counting to calculus? That's what we're hoping to do with this program. We want to train teachers, parents, and educators to transform math education globally. Thank you again for joining me, and we'll see you same time, same station next week. But in between, you can always email me anytime if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, objections. I'll go ahead and stop the live stream now. For those who are watching the live stream, please visit our website, countingtocalculus.org, countingtocalculus.org. I will also include in the live stream a link to our GPT. So our GPT link allows people to be able to use our GPT to learn mathematics. So the Counting to Calculus GPT is included in the comments section as well. I'll put that in the description section. Everybody who joins this program will learn how to use AI. They will learn how to use different digital literacy tools. Thank you again. Let me stop the live stream now.